biggest challenge facing special ed teachers is today? I bet you won't be able to guess it. I know a lot of people are probably saying, well, it's political divide. Nobody can really agree or compromise on anything. Well, that's true. I mean, there is a lot of difference of opinion on how education should work, but that's not it. And you're probably thinking, well, what about funding? Funding is constantly getting cut. So, of course, teachers don't have the resources. And that's true. But that's not it either. It actually comes down to the students. It's something called self-advocacy. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. Today's lesson, self-advocacy. So, before we can get into talking about the challenges of self-advocacy, we first need to understand what it is. Self-advocacy is the ability to speak up for yourself and the things that are important to you. For individuals with learning disabilities, self-advocacy means that you can explain what you need and why with confidence. So, that seems pretty straightforward. What's the problem? Well, students with learning disabilities in high school and college are not given sufficient resources for learning the basics of self-advocacy in an academic setting. Now, while the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, IDEA, requires schools to provide self-advocacy instruction as part of their transition services, many students are not receiving support to learn this crucial skill. And why are the students not self-advocating for themselves? Well, teachers and administrators will often say that they want students to self-advocate, but fail to understand how difficult it is for a student to do so. Many students find it intimidating to talk to a teacher for any reason, let alone about a topic as sensitive as disability accommodations. Which makes sense because a lot of students, when they see a teacher, they are kind of intimidated by them. And believe me, I know from experience. When I was in elementary school, first grade, I was treated horribly by my elementary school teacher. She would call me stupid, dumb, waste of space, worthless. And of course, whenever I had problems or issues with my schoolwork, the last person that I wanted to ask for help from was my teacher. So imagine being a student. And not only that, but students are a little hesitant about raising their hand in class because they don't want to seem like they're dumb or stupid. So self-advocacy needs to be taught at an early age. Self-advocacy needs to happen earlier. Like so many things, it's a process, and what self-advocacy looks like for a 6-year-old will be different for a tween, teen, or adult. For little kids, learning when to verbalize that something is hard and knowing when to ask for help can be enough. Older kids, meanwhile, can play a bigger role in determining and expressing what they need. When kids feel understood, they're more likely to feel encouraged to succeed. Now, it's true that IDEA requires educational professionals to teach self-advocacy skills at the secondary level. But the thing is that once they get to the secondary level, it may be a little too late. By teaching them early on, these students can learn those self-advocacy skills like I did when I was in fifth grade, because by the time I got to middle school and high school, I knew what I had trouble with and I knew when to ask for help. But if you wait until you get to upper middle school, like eighth grade or even ninth grade, well, it's going to take a lot longer to build those self-advocacy skills. That's why repetition is so important. And that's why self-advocacy is one of the biggest challenges facing special ed teachers. Now, if you liked what you saw, you learned something new, or you're new to the channel, please click that like button. And if you want updates on future videos, feel free to click the subscribe button and ring the bell for updates on future videos. And as always, if you have questions or comments, or there's a particular topic in special ed that you want me to cover, by all means, drop a line in the comments section and I'd be happy to talk to you about it. And until next time, class dismissed.